Hello, this is Kari from Dusty Bunnies. Dusty Bunnies is my store on Etsy. I also have a store, Thrifty Witch, on eBay, and I sell books on Amazon.com. I'm starting out a YouTube channel so that I can talk about not only the stuff that I find and buy to put in my store, but also so that I can share my passion for urban picking and scavenging and just finding the treasures in other people's trash, if you will. I also really like to share stories and histories, and that's something I think I also wanted to bring into this YouTube channel as well. So you're probably going to get a lot from me in terms of, running a small business online, from the history of the articles that I find, to a little bit about things that I like to collect, or the types of history that I'm interested in. A little bit about me. I have a degree in social work, and for a long time I was working for a corporate medical company, and I did social work in that setting, and did that for about 11 and a half years, and found that I was really wanting to change up a little bit. I have training as a therapist as well, and so I do that as well in my private practice. But I've always really liked history, and I really like collecting things. Mostly in the past I've collected books, which in the process of this past year I actually ended up cleaning out a lot of my books, because it turns out, of course, books sell really well online, even though we have a lot of e-readers and online books available to us. There's still something about books that is really drawing to people, and so they still will go out and buy them. But I ended up selling a lot of those at some point when I needed some extra money, and that actually is sort of what led into my doing more online sales. I've also sold clothing in the past, just getting rid of stuff that I didn't want. But I really started getting interested in especially collecting old photographs and old, they're called tintypes. And in particular, I collect the ones with either dogs on them, because I love dogs, or with fat men and women, because I do some fat activism and stuff like that. I probably won't be talking about that a lot on this YouTube channel unless something comes up. But actually right now what I'm doing is I'm looking at two of the photos that I just recently found. And they were part of a purchase that I made of a larger set of photos that I'm going to be reselling on my Etsy shop. And I'll talk a little bit about that later, but I wanted to show you one of them. So it's sitting right here on my laptop, and I'm turning it around. You can see this lovely lady. She's probably from about the 1880s or late 1870s. And most of them, when they had their pictures taken, looked pretty stern because no one smiled. But I'm looking at them because my software that I'm using to record this actually has the picture of me talking and gesturing and smiling, and it was very distracting, and I tried to record about 3 or 4 times, and I just kept making myself laugh. So I have these nice ladies here. This is the other one I'll show you. Here you go. Here she is. Oops. I kind of see her very well. So I will be sharing things that I find, but I will also be sharing then the things that I find online that I like. you can probably guess from what I've said so far, and that one of my favorite television shows is American Pickers, and I will probably be referencing terminology that they use, like freestyling and stuff like that, when I talk about finding things for free in this metropolitan area. And one of the ways that I do that, just if anyone is interested in looking into it in your area, we have Craigslist, which is a great wealth of resources for new apartments, jobs, social life, dating, casual encounters, I guess. And there's also a section on there for like garage sales and estate sales. And under that section for selling stuff, there's also a free section, at least in the East Bay of San Francisco Bay Area. There's also a barter section. I don't do a lot of barter because that's just not going to pay my bills, but I do check out the free listings there. And I also will go to garage sales where you can find both things for almost free, and you'll find often a free box, which you can rummage through and take their stuff. I also have access to an online listserv for the 2 cities in the East Bay, and the listserv is called freecycle.com. They do great work, I think, in lots of different communities, and it's just a listserv where you can post things that you want to get rid of, and then other people who want them or need them can respond to you, and you can set up a time where you can go pick that up. I've gotten a lot of stuff that way, including at least one almost full library from an estate, which I was then able to sell online or take to sell at half price books. I also kept a few of the books because it was a history a history estate. The people who had passed were historians. So anyway, so that's a little bit about me and why I'm doing this webcast and why I'm starting this channel. And if you are interested in looking at the kinds of things that I have available for sale, you can go to my website, Dusty Bunnies, on Etsy, and there's a link to that on my YouTube channel. You can also visit my store on eBay called Thrifty Witch, which is more along the lines of not so much vintage, mostly more modern stuff and clothes. I do a lot of clothes, but I also do a lot of random stuff that I get. And the prices on there are really pretty reasonable. My Etsy store, the prices are a little bit more expensive, but they do include shipping. So if you want to factor that in, I don't charge extra shipping on the Etsy store. On the eBay store, I do. And then my Amazon stock is also linked on the YouTube channel page. So I hope that somebody watches this, and I look forward to hearing feedback from people in the coming weeks, and hopefully I'll get a little bit better at getting the ums out of my speech, and hopefully I will be able to have some items to show you and some of the background for the items, and also talk about some of the things that I do in terms of trying to give back, because I think that I feel like so much has been given to me just by sort of random strangers who are putting things out on their curb. So I like to kind of give back in whatever way I can. And I'll talk a little bit about that as well. Okay, so leave me a comment, like my video if you like my video. Don't be too mean, because that's not fun. And hopefully I will see you stopping by again and watching another video. Have a good night.